They can't. Especially young folks. You've heard me talk about my son and his crew. Can't get him in the church because of that. Because the church will not provide sustenance for those that are in need.
And it's not just about the word that's spoken, because when you look at the Hebrew, look at it again, that God may instruct us in God's ways and that we may walk. This is about a way of life. Whenever you start talking about walking, you're talking about a way of life.
Lifestyle.
So what could they see in us? They don't see us walking it out.
So they don't want to follow you because you ain't living right.
Or you're not doing anything that enhances the quality of life for anybody else.
That's right.
What is the church in all actuality? What are you doing? Go back to Jeremiah. He said, look, live this.
That's right.
Dig up, plant, begin to engage. And that's what he's telling us here. Here, look, you got to live this so that folks will say, they're living this economically, politically, socially. I want to emulate that.
That's right.
Because that is a freedom.
Right.
I'm enslaved right now to all of these other things. But these individuals' way of living does not ascribe to this kind of bondage and dehumanization. Therefore, I want to live like that. What do they see in us?
No.
No, they don't see that at all. So now, on the Temple Mount, even though it's in the communities, it's a common ground. A prophet, remember I told y'all, interrogates, challenges, and then reminds them what? This is what your purpose is.
Of the church.
Because church is the human beings.
That's
that
it.
gather.
Yes.
So we hear this Isaiah. Now look at what he says in verse 4. Thus God will judge among the nations and arbitrate for the many peoples. Huh? What do you mean God will arbitrate? Well, I don't understand what that means.
Judge.
Speak for them.
Say what?
Speak for them.
Well, why would God be speaking for them?
But they're not able to speak for themselves.
I suppose if we follow the transitioning of the text, if we follow it, it would suggest that because now people are now beginning to follow this lifestyle, this God, nature, and all the rest of it now move into a harmony. Our community moves into a harmony. Our global world moves into a harmony.
Settle disputes for many people.
There you go.
Okay.
A peace comes on because the disputes are settled because all of us now are ascribing to a different value system. So in Africa, I don't have to go over there and worry about what's them folks Orlando that was over there holding them people and selling them back and getting these ships. What was them folks Orlando?
Europeans.
Oh. But they wouldn't have to be there if you wasn't exploiting
That's right. There you
their
go.
country.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But see, we're talking on one side and not talking about what we're doing. So if you bring all of this back into where the Africans can trust me, that I'm going to treat them, and we try, then all of a sudden it diffuses because now God is moving and operating.
So that's where the arbitration is.
That's it.
Oh.
That's exactly what it is. God is going to be settling the disputes that we have. And also settling the disputes inside of our communities. And settling the disputes because we're both going to be talking about what God's values are. We're going to be talking about what God desires and purposes and wills for the betterment of the universe. It's not just about me.
That's right.
Because if you and I are operating under the same framework, with the same value system and the same mindset, where two or more are gathered,
In my name.
I'm in the
midst
what
of
we
it.
mean by that is because he and I are operating out of the same common mindset,
That's
we
right.
now begin to operate on a mutual playing level. I'm not trying to exploit him. I'm not. So the Spirit of God is now moving between us.
The Spirit of God moving between.
We operate. We operate out of respect, mutuality, covenant of God.
That's right.
Look
No
at all of
manipulation.
us. We're this Christian nation.
Mm-hmm.
That's scary.
And look what's happening to all. Look.
Well, and I think his point and yours is true. You know, because we got 5 churches in one,
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
and can't nobody